Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil Day, presenting an upgraded Roaring Moon starter deck. I believe it was Roaring Moon EX is what the name of the starter deck is. And I kept the 4 copies of Roaring Moon EX, but honestly, I think it's more of a single prize deck most of the time, with just the single prize Roaring Moon, Vengeance Fletching for 2 Darkness Energies, does 70 plus 10 more for each ancient card in your discard pile. Usually that's the better option, but you want some copies of Roaring Moon EX as well for sure, because it does big damage. One thing a change which I made and then I undid is I cut a couple copies of Roaring Moon EX, went down to 2, and added 2 Fluttermane. I took those out. I just put that back. I wanted to just let you know that is an option. The Hex Hurl attack is okay. It does 90 for 3 colorless energy, so it still works with Darkness Energy. And then you put 2 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon any way you would like. So not bad there. And then it has the ability, Midnight Fluttering, as long as in the active spot your opponent's active Pokemon have no abilities. So it does shut off Comfy for one thing, or something like Chen Pao with being able to draw energies, or Goldango EX. So things like that then don't work, which is useful, right? So it just makes things a little bit trickier for your opponent. So I did cut 2 EXs for 2 Fluttermanes, but I undid it. I wasn't getting enough value out of it, but you could consider that. I did keep in the poison aspect, but I did drop it before. It was originally it was 3 copies of Brute Bonnet. Now it's 2 copies. The poison is okay with Toxic Powder. You poison as long as you have the tool attached. You poison your Pokemon and your opponent's Pokemon, active Pokemon only, of course. And it helps because the single prize Roaring Moon does come up short a lot, so it helps with that. And therefore, I've kept in the Radiant Hisuian Sneasler as well, because that puts in 2 more damage counters. Another thing you could do with the deck, and I've considered it, is cut out the Brute Bonnet and the Radiant Hisuian Sneasler. Then I'd probably drop in 2 Fluttermanes and then 1 other card just to try to make the deck a little more consistent. That is certainly another way to go with the deck. Everything else in Pokemon is the same. The energy, we had 10 basic Darkness energies before. Now we have 9. I just cut 1 energy. I think we're okay with 9, and just wanted to get another card in the deck to help make things consistent, because part of the trouble with the base with the starter deck build is it's a little inconsistent getting started up. So get to those changes in the trainers, and again, look, the changes to the deck all in all were pretty minor, I will say. I always want to keep, when I upgrade the starter deck, kind of keep the theme and the feel of the starter deck for one thing, and trying to keep it budget friendly. And there's a lot of logic to the deck the way it is. What the deck is, the deck doesn't really have an engine. You do have Squawkabilly EX early on, but you don't have an engine, so what it relies on is PokéStop, right? You discard the top 3 cards of your deck, put any items into your hand, which is okay. So you're getting your Pokemon, your energy, supporters in the discard pile. And of course, for ancient cards, that's a good thing. We get the items in hand. So a couple things I did. One, I added a 4th copy of PokéStop. It only has 3, but you need PokéStop for the EX's attack to get the damage numbers up, so stadiums are important for that. And you need it for the engine, particularly your first few turns. You kind of need to PokéStop or you're else in a lot of trouble. So a 4th copy there, really good. You could put in... I don't know if I have... Okay, I don't own it yet, but you could put in Perilous Jungle. I did not, but it boosts the poison, right? So as long as you kept Brute Bonnet, this Hisuian Sneasler, you could play Perilous Jungle during Pokemon Checkup. You put 2 more damage counters on each non-poison, non-darkness Pokemon. So that gets up to 5 then. Poison damage counters between each turn, and that can help get the knockouts that you kind of get a little bit short for, which I said is an issue with the single prize Roaring Moon in particular. But I want 4 PokéStop, I gotta say, so no Perilous Jungle. PokéStop is just that important to me. All right, so I increased that from 3 to 4. I think that does help the deck. The deck used to play 2 bosses order, which is good, but I'm using PokéStop, so is the main draw. So the boss's orders often go in the discard pile if I get to play them. And the other thing is I need the Explorer's Guidance a lot, or Professor Sada's Vitality, to use those supporters. So even if I have boss in hand, a lot of times it wasn't getting played. So I didn't like boss. So I cut the 2 boss, replaced it with 2 Counter Catcher. That pairs well. with PokéStop because Counter Catcher is an item, right? You have to be behind the prizes, but you know, you'll probably get there in a lot of games. And if you're not behind the prizes, then just be happy you're ahead. And then the other card, which I guess in a sense is the card that I cut the energy for, is Awakening Drum. It is the ancient A-Spec card. And obviously, this is a type of deck to try it out. Right, so it is good. It's an ancient card, so it does your basic single prize Roaring Moons do 10 more damage, but then you draw a card for each of your ancient Pokemon in play. So right, we have 2 non-ancient Pokemon, but all the rest are ancient Pokemon. So just get some extra draw on your turn, and of course it boosts your damage to the discard pile. So I do like it. Certainly that makes sense in the deck. So that's it. Those are the changes. Added reduced the Brute Bonnet, reduced the Darkness Energy, added a PokéStop, added Awakening Drum, and cut Boss's Order, and replaced it with Counter Catcher. So that's the list of changes. Nothing radical. It's still not a top tier deck, but the deck with play testing has been a little more consistent. Let's jump in the ladder and see what the deck does now. All right, let's see what happens here. We'll choose to go second if I get the choice. You know, just like with the original form of the starter deck, I think going second is a little bit better. With the before rotation, Roaring Moon actually definitely was a go second deck because you had the potential for doing a big attack on your first turn pretty decently. Now, with the loss of Glare and Meltra's V, that's a lot harder. But you probably go second. You can play a support your first turn, which means you're getting more Pokemon in the discard pile, and also the goal really is to okay. So up against an ancient deck, we'll see what the exact build is, right? An ancient box deck, which now this could become that, but I think again, but trying to keep the deck as to what it is already. So Raging Bolt. Which is a very, very appealing card, which they can do some big damage. Sandy Shocks, okay. All right, it's getting dangerous. What is this, the evolution one? Turbo Energize. I don't know why they attached it, because it's going to get discarded. They can't use it this turn. And, unless they wanted to thin their hand, you just sit on it, right? You can always attach it next turn. I don't think that made a ton of sense. Potentially I could take a knockout here. Knockouts are good for sure. All right, let me guess. If there's Squawkabilly in play, I want to grab him because that's what I want to do here, right? Let me ditch an energy. I'd like to be able to use Dark Patch. That's always one of those questions. Can I get the Dark Patch off before I have to chuck it out of play? Okay. So I'll take you into hand. I like that. I will PokéStop now. I hope I don't hit Dark Patch though, because that's what I don't want to hit. Okay. That's not terrible. Utilize this. No to Counter Catcher. I can't use it now. I'm trying to get a big turn set up here. So I can attack with him. I don't know if I want to do that though. I think I want to try to take the knockout with Roaring Moon. So I'm gonna be a little greedy here. Dark Patch. I'm going to. Don't want to thin any more energy. That's part of my question, right? I think I do, right? I'll attach and I'll attach because I'm going to Squawkabilly. I want to discard. All right, you know what? I'm all in. So I was thinking I was trying to pause. Okay, so only one Switch Cart now in deck, so I probably don't get the switch off. But it is what it is, right? So I'm going to attach manually. No. Do I want to attach? I'm not going to attach because I still might attack with the active if I hit energy, right? I didn't hit anything, though. So that's pretty stinky. I will say that's pretty stinky. Okay, so let me get another Roaring Moon into play. And I don't think I want to bench anybody else at this point. Do I even want to get an energy into play here? All right, I'm going to get an energy into play. Get rid of this card. I'm not loving this, but I was hoping to hit it like a Professor Sada's Vitality. That would have been nice. And I'll just pass here. If my Roaring Moon's knocked out, I'm in a lot of trouble. My EX, sorry. Right. So they probably can't do that, though. So the Sandy Shock starts accelerating energy to itself, right? So this Raging Bolt does 70 per basic energy it discards. They need 2 energy on it. They can power it up in 1 turn, though, with Professor Sada's Vitality. And then they accelerate energies onto the Sandy Shock's EX. And they could, if they get 3 into play, then they have everything they need. So they're going to... So they can one-shot me, which isn't a shock about that. The problem is once I take the knockout, then their Sandy Shock's EX is activated. And I'm in a lot of trouble. Part of it is I need to not get too many. They need to get into the discard. So that's not, so PokéStop does help them as well because they need those fighting energies in the discard pile. Oh, Cycling Road, which lets them discard energy as well. Okay, and I've got to. Well, I can poison my opponent. And I probably do that so that I don't have to do the attack that damages myself. Okay, so they didn't take a knockout. Well, they're not set up for that, so that's kind of good. Oh, this is terrible. I now can't. They didn't knock me out, so I can't attack this turn. Well, that's bad news for sure. I guess I'm going to, and I don't have. Oh, this is terrible. I'm just going to attach and pass, and I'm not. That's it. So, yeah. Yeah, so this is bad news. Bad news. They didn't knock me out, which I guess, well, they could have. At this point, I'm just going to kind of wait till they do. I mean, I guess at some point they want a boss and knock me out, and they can wait to knock out my EX, my Roaring Moon EX, right? That's kind of their goal, I think. They're getting these fighting energies in the discard pile, which is great for them as well, because now they can use their Sandy Shocks to accelerate a bunch of energies, and they don't have to discard off the active. I really need to get another, I think, Roaring Moon into play. EX, sorry. But I don't know if I want to discard the Brute Bonnet, because I was thinking I need to poison that last turn. If I was going to attack, I wanted to be able to poison. So this is where the deck probably might need a Super Rod, right? Because I run really close to this energy, running out of energies. So they play Fluttermane, which is a very good card, like I said, and definitely in an Ancient Box, you're going to drop at least 1 Fluttermane in. So we'll see what they do here. Do they want Fluttermane in this deck, though? Oh, it stops the poison, right? If it's in the active, but only if it's in the active. So that's why its value is somewhat limited. So do I attack this turn? I don't know if I do. I'm really hurting here. All right, I'm going to attack. I don't think I want to knock them out, though, because if I knock them out, they're pretty much guaranteed the counter knockout, right? Well, no. Yeah, it's unlimited. It's not capped. There's no cap to how many energies they can discard, so they're going to just blow me up. So I'm going to do this and come up short on the knockout. Get rid of the stadium, because it's their stadium. They want it anyway. And I can finish them off next turn. I need to get energy on something on the bench, so that's where I'm in a world of hurt. I've only had 1 Dark Patch. I need to hit Dark Patch. I need Sada's Vitality. I need one of those cards. That's what needs to happen, right? That's what I have 4 energies in the discard, and that's okay. But I need to get Dark Patch and or. Okay, so drawing with their Ace Spec. This game. They don't have an engine either. So these. Ancient decks don't really play an engine, so getting the right cards at the right time, so that they got the Sadas. I think that's their second Sadas they played this game, and that's obviously a huge deal for them. And they have been drawing with the Raging Bolt's attack, so that's good. Bolt Roar. Wait, what do they do again with Bolt Roar? They discard their hand, draw 6. So they're, you know, so they're churning through the deck pretty nicely. I guess the one thing is, I mean, can I deck them out? I guess that yeah, I'm not liking my spot. See, once I knock them out, once I take a knockout, they're going to start accelerating energy and just blow me up turn after turn after turn. I think so. Are they going to take the knockout this turn? They might be. They might be, which is fine. I guess it's not great, but you know, hey, I'm not in a great spot. So they're going to knock me out. They need to get rid of 5. They need to get rid of all their energy, though, right? Oh, they didn't knock me out. Okay, that's interesting. So they can knock me out next turn, probably. All right, so I'm going to Dark Patch onto Roaring Moon. And I'll hit the Roaring Moon with the tool attached. If I had a tool, I'd poison him to knock him out, probably. And I'm just going to... I'm going to end turn. Just make them put some pressure on. Just putting a little bit of pressure on them is all I'm doing. You know, I think decking them out is what I'm going to have to do. They're probably, I mean, they assuming they don't have an Iono, and I don't know, or Judge, I don't know what their list plays exactly. They're aware that they could deck out, and they're just going to slow things down, right? They're not going to draw, you know, discarding their hand, drawing 6 cards, they stopped it, right? They got down to 10 cards and then started taking 10 cards in deck and started taking knockouts, which is very good. Yeah, I mean, I now just have to feed them a steady dose of single price Pokemon. Okay, Grant, though, which is fine. It does 30 more damage, so they might not have to discard as much energy. I'm going to send up my single prize guy, I think. Just... Wow, okay, they chose not to take the knockout, which is very interesting. And, I think I'm just gonna end turn here. It's not great. I mean, you know, it's not great. I need a Sada's Vitality. I guess I should have Ultra Balled and gotten an EX into play. I think I should have done that. I think I still want to pump the brakes on taking a prize. So they're going to knock me out. Right? So just put some pressure on them so that it's going to take them a lot of turns to take the knockouts. I think that's all I can do right now, which isn't a great feeling, but and I'll get rid of this guy here. Yeah, I think I might want to poison. What's the situation with the tools here? 2 tools, okay. So this, you know, this should be, do I want to be able to attack, right? That's part of my question now. All right, so I want to put energy where and where. Put energy here, and I'm going to put energy here. I'll hold off on the EX, which might be a mistake. Okay. So I'm going to gust up a Sandy Shocks, right? That's what I'm going to do now. Because, right, I want them to dig. I want them to have to work. I want them to have to work. So I'm going to play my stadium, partly because I want them to use their stadium. And I'm just going to end turn. I could use PokéStop, but I don't think I want to. I'm decking. I think deck out is what I got to do here. Just I've gotten so behind. And, you know, and they were obviously aggressive to get to where they needed to be. Okay. But, you know, just making them use some resources. I should have benched something else, I suppose. Yeah. I think decking him out's the only way I can win this. So maybe I shouldn't have benched the Roaring Moon EX. I should probably toss down my other single prize Pokemon as well. Just, I gotta just make them. I mean, they should have a couple cards in deck when they win the game, even without Iono, right? But I'm not gonna allow them to accelerate energy. That's the big thing. I'm not gonna take prizes. Hopefully, I get. I don't know what their Sada count is, so I'll send him up. Sada's big for them. They've only played 2. Okay, Awakening Drum. I like that. So I would like to Gust again, which I didn't hit. Let's see what I have here. I think I want him. I don't have another catcher anyway, so okay. I think I just... Okay, so I'll bench you, and you're in the active because you have the tool attached, right? I might as well attack here, right? I do 180, and I'm just going to attack. I don't take the knockout, which is why I'm willing to do it. I don't want to take prizes here. I don't. If I was going to take prizes, I wouldn't have played it, but, right, that was okay. I would, my other Counter Catcher's prize, so I'm not going to get that, right? Yeah, I didn't. Oh, no, I played them both. Okay, I didn't. Oh, I must have discarded it at some point, I guess. I don't remember. So, knockout, send. Hopefully I get my tools, because I'd like to make things tankier still, right? 70, 70. The tool gives me 60, right? So I don't know if it matters, right? It doesn't matter which I send up. I want the tool on... Well, I want a tool on a Brute Bonnet still. I possibly. I mean, obviously the tool doesn't help on Sneasler, because it doesn't do anything with him. Okay, so there... do they play boss? So they're drawing 3 cards. So that means they're going to have to either boss for game... they don't play Prime Catcher, right? Because they played Awakening Drum. Prime Catcher could go in the deck too instead of Awakening Drum. This deck that I'm playing, it may be the better card. So anyway, so this game's going slowly. Okay. So they discarded to do Grant, which is fine. Grant does, only attacks if they're fighting Pokemon, so it doesn't actually help with their Dragon Pokemon. It's just a way to discard some cards. So I'll send up a Brute Bonnet and see what happens here, right? So this is a case where, see if I, if they play Iono, I lose. If they have Boss, I lose as well. I mean, Boss, they just get a Squawkabilly or the Roaring Moon, right? But knockout, I think they win anyway, right? I think I need to get the tools attached is what needs to happen here. They need 3 energy. So I don't know if they can take I need to get tools is what needs to happen here. And I might actually, I could play Explorer's Guidance. I need a tool. Dark Patch. Okay, so the problem is I'm down to 2 cards in deck if I play this, right? As long as they don't have any recovery cards, I'm okay. I have this, and I mean, none of these other things matter. I can't play anything else, I don't think. So 2 cards, I'll attach. So now it's an extra energy. So now they need 3 energies for the knockout. So they get, assuming, I mean, if they have, right, if they gust up my Squawkabilly, of course, it's game over there. And I don't know, they need another Sada's Vitality. They need to get energies in play, and I don't know if they can do it now. Right, so they're 1 card in deck, I draw, I'll be 1 card in deck. And then, Because right now they have to discard all 3 energies to get the knockout, in which case they can't take the knockout the following turn. I should have Dark Patched, I guess. So are they going to... Do they attack? Do they not attack, right? Feel a little anxious now because I kind of feel that I could win this game. I'm certainly not sure that I will. If they Iono, of course, then I will concede. You know, then they just have game. There's no reason to make them play everything out to the bitter end because I'm going to deck. Well, I'll deck out in a turn or two. So at this point, I send up the Roaring Moon because I assume they're going to get rid of all their energy. They are. So I'm going to send him up. I'm going to send him up. I can get the tool as well. There is one tool in there, right? So they're gonna. I can't get the tool now, unfortunately, because if I do, I lose the game. So just end turn because they don't deck out this turn. They can't, as long as they don't win this turn. As long as they don't have Iono, or you know, if they play Rod, then they get the game too, right? That's where being that aggressive at that one point put me in a spot where like I would lose by Rod. I played I think an Explorer's Guidance at one point. That at that point that thinned my deck down a lot. That's where I got to be just one card. I was just one turn ahead of it, one turn behind them in terms of decking out at that point. But I felt like I needed to get a tool to try to make things, just to slow down the prizes. Let's take a look. Did it actually succeed at that? I think it did. So I got game. So I was able to just grind it out and put the brakes on, right? I had nothing, and I knew that they relied on my taking prizes. I was behind. I just wasn't going to catch up. You know, they were just going to start blowing me out of the water because their setup was better than mine was, but they had to go aggressive, and they ran the risk, and I just put the brakes on and decked them out. So, you know, don't forget about those alternate win conditions. They're always out there, and, you know, doesn't make the funnest games, but it certainly wins are always fun. All right, hopefully get a more action-packed game this time. Did get the win last time. Got the win by decking out my opponent. Took a long time to do it, but you know, I didn't set up well. My opponent got set up much better than I did, but they really dug through their deck. They were down to 9 prizes before. I mean, 9 cards in deck, I think, before they took any prizes. And I was like, hey, you know what? If I don't take prizes, because they needed me to take prizes to accelerate the way their deck worked, and I just put the brakes on and just was able to deck them out by 1 card. Okay, done there. Up against Charizard. Charizard's a ton of these decks. Do I put... I'll put Squawkabilly active, because if I get a Dark Patch, Roaring Moon on the bench is good, right? I'm going second, right? Yeah, it must be, because the timer tells me that anyway. It is nice having the log. I do wish that on PTC PGO, I think it highlighted the player that was going first. I think, I don't remember, somewhere on the board there was a little signal, because like at this point I believe this yellow right now is glowing that it's their turn. I wish it would, before the start of the game, glow yellow for who's going to go first as we're setting up. It would just make my life a little simpler. Okay, can I do something, right? That's really what it comes down to now. So no, that's good, and at least I hope it's good. Do I want to? I think I want to try to attack with Sada's Vitality, I think. So with the single prize Roaring Moon. So I'm going to explore his Guidance beforehand, get some energies in hand. If I hit a Dark Patch, this may change up what I do. Well, it depends what I hit here. So let's see. So I don't want Brute Bonnet. Oh, I want you. Oh, I can I can actually take them out with the Roaring Moon, and they can't then take out, and they don't get my Roaring Moon back, do they? Wait, I only have one energy in the discard pile, don't I? Just have one. Okay, so I got to go back. Whoop, go back. So one of that and this. Okay. So this gets me what I need. Yeah, because there wasn't, unfortunately, any energies in the discard pile. So I will get down a single prize Roaring Moon. I will... Let's think. He does 180. This gets me up to 200, so they one-shot me anyway. I don't want to attach the... I'm just trying to think the numbers. So I'm going to attach to the Roaring Moon. I take the knockout with you. I'm going to attach my tool here, because I'm going to get one shot by Charizard EX anyway, if they can set them up, right? Hopefully they can't, of course. But I have a knockout, and I do like that. Do I want to bench another Roaring Moon? I will, because it could have value next turn. I'm going to just attack now. Get rid of the Pidgey, which is nice, so they don't have access to Pidgeot EX next turn. Look, I've run this deck through a lot of Charizards, and I don't like the way the matchup tends to run. The problem is their Charizard as the game goes on, then one-shots my Roaring Moon EXs, and they one-shot me easier than I one-shot them. So let's see what they do. So, okay. What's Rika do? Okay, top 4, 2 in hand, 2 at the bottom, right? So that's fine. I don't see what they are, because... okay, well... This is really good here, so... Oh, I have game. Okay, because I believe I had energy in the discard pile, and then I just had game. So if I had energy in the discard pile, I had game. So got the win. I set up better than they did, so that was a very nice game against the Charizard deck. All right, let's see what happens here. I bump the microphone. Hopefully its levels about the same. I do want to go second. Obviously, that last game, I beat the Charizard deck because I was able to knock out the Pidgey on my first turn, and then it set them up with not much the second turn, so they did the quick concede. All right, so Roaring Moon in the active, that's good. Explorer's Guidance doesn't help me get there, but that's okay. How aggressive do I want to be with these energies is my one question. In that, because I could get rid of, 5 energies potentially. I don't think I want to be that aggressive, though. I just don't. I got to think about that one, right? So, a Future Box deck. Okay. I've run into some of that. Look, these are early days with the new set since post-rotation, so things are very different than what they were before. So Iron Hands is very scary. Very scary. So, in fact, Iron Hands can one-shot my EX, and that's bad news, right? And they can certainly one-shot my single prize Roaring Moon. Yeah, it's because they have their tool to do more damage. They have a lot of things. Okay, so, oh wow, how do I work this here? I guess I grab 2 energies. Do I want to discard that many energies? That's part of my question. 1, 2. Do I want to get rid of 5 energies already? I had Thins to help me grab stuff. I think I can do 5. I'm trying to think. I don't think I can discard more than 5 though. So I have Squawk. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to grab Squawkabilly, and I'm going to hope. Okay, so just discard, grab Squawkabilly. But I have Sada's. If I hit a Sada's Vitality, I can attack with the active. I could. Do I want to attach active? It depends what I get, though, right? I'm going to discard all these energies. That's where things get a little tricky. Because I want to have options for where I attach the energy post after my turn. Okay, so I'll do this. It's not great. I'll do this. I think I Awakening Drum now. Do I want to PokéStop first? Did I haven't done a supporter yet, right? I'm going to PokéStop first, because if I get a Nest Ball, I can get another Pokemon onto the bench, which is good. All right, well, that's not helpful, so I will Awakening Drum first. That's bad. That's just not the sequencing that I wanted at all. I can tell you that. Yeah, that's unfortunately things went completely not the way I wanted. So I do have Brute Bonnet down, and I guess I'm gonna poison them. And 30, 60. I think I'll make that my play. I'm gonna poison them. I may poison myself too, but you know they have. I'm easy pickings, so I will just do this, and it's not great. That was a very disappointing turn one. I mean, there were arguments to be made that I should have played the Explorer's Guidance on my first turn. That's a big turn, right? This is what, the deck, one thing the deck kind of has how it was before. You still have big turn ones in particular. That's a lot of cards that got played, which is good. I mean, I need that, right? Obviously, I wished I had that Nest Ball before Awakening Drum, but is what it is. I need, if I got a Switch card, I could have taken a knockout, which would have been nice. They're going to get the first knockout, I assume. So they do 20 more damage with these Iron Crowns. They need to accelerate some energy, though. So maybe they're just going to pass this turn. All right, so that does, is it 20 more damage? Yeah, 20 more damage. 20 more damage with Iron Crowns. So that's 40. So that they're at 60 more. So now they're doing 180 with the first attack, with the second attack. Now they've got to get the energy on, of course. If they don't do that, but they might pull it off this turn, right? With the electric generator, they need to accelerate some energies, and switch. They need to get one more energy in play and switch. If they attach per turn, okay. So, I mean, they're going to. What's the energy? Do I have? All right, so I have a bunch of energies there. So I think I just take the knockout here. How do I want to work this? I think I need to accelerate here, right? I think he's just going to get knocked out anyway. So my active Roaring Moon, I think he's just dead, I believe, is where I'm at with him. And that's, it's not ideal, but it's not the worst thing in the world either. Do I want to dig some to increase my damage on him for my Roaring Moon? Maybe I do. Let me make this play. Yeah, I try to remember how aggressive I have been with energy with this game. Not as much, but so let me do this. See what I hit. Okay, got a Dark Patch. I do like that a lot. I'm going to Dark Patch to my EX. I already have 2 on my other Sada. I mean, I could. I think I just let myself get knocked out this next turn. I don't think there's a lot I can do about that. So I think the best thing to do is to do that. All right, I'm going to put my tool here because I don't want him getting knocked out. So he's doing 140. I just got to keep that number in mind, because I need to one-shot their Iron Hands. That's what needs to happen here. So they're going to easily knock me out. I've got to get the follow-up knockout. I have to one-shot him, and I can do that with my Iron Hands EX, but I don't want to do that, right? I don't want. That doesn't make me feel good at all. So it was 140, right? $140, $150, $60, $70, $80. So I just don't climb high enough with this to do it. So I think I have to attack with my EX, which is okay. Attacking with the EX is fine. The problem is if they Iron Hands my EX for 3 prizes, that's not good, right? Because then the game speeds up. Well, not really. I mean, unless they can. Yeah, no, that's not. They're not going to do that. I mean, unless of course they were to gust up my EX this turn. All right, they're owning me. It was a good hand, so we'll see. I can probably. I just need an energy. So I have Dark Patch. I have Switch Cart, so it's okay. Oh, I have Earthen Vessel. All right, so I have the knot. Okay, so they're just going to do that. I have Counter Catcher though, so that's really nice. Really nice there. I can one-shot the Iron Hands this turn, which ruins their day. So that's okay. They take 1 prize for that. So this is good. So I'll send up the EX, right? I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is there a reason for me to send up? I'm gonna do that. Just in case there's not energy, I guess, right? Just trying to think through what I do. So you're doing 150, 60, 70, 80, not enough. So let's take a peek at the deck. I'm pretty sure I need another EX going. All right, my 2 energies there. This is okay. Oh, I can't Counter Catcher. I'm not behind in prizes. That's unfortunate, isn't it? Definitely is. Okay, that's right. I'm not behind. They tied me, so that was actually kind of a good play. That was a nice play on their part. So I'll make that play. I will. Let me grab these energies too. I think I do want the Counter Catcher. The problem is well, if they're going to take the knockout with. Yeah, I was thinking they were going to take the knockout with Iron Hands. They did not, so. And I don't play boss, so I'll just take the knockout. I'm going to sit on PokéStop. All right, so I go ahead and prizes, which does give them Counter Catcher, right? So that's the prize. So maybe I'm playing into their hands the way I'm working this here. But, so we'll see what they do. Are they going to attack with the Miraidon again? Anyway, assuming they take the knockout, oh, this could be bad. Well, this is bad, right? So now I'm in a world of hurt. Now I'm in a world of hurt. So that probably gives them game. And Squawkabilly is one of the things. And Iron Hands obviously wrecks Squawkabilly's. Just ruins Squawkabilly. So I will send up him. That's very simple. What I do there. I mean, I take you out. I'm gonna have to poison you. That's for sure, right? Let me poison us both. I guess I explore his guidance here too, right? Yeah, explore his guidance. What do we have? Dark Patch. I like that. And I think I need to attack with my other Roaring Moon EX, right? That's what has to happen here. I have Counter Catcher. The problem is I might not be able to Counter Catcher next turn. But that is what it is, right? So I will attack with. I'm not going to Frenzy Gouging myself because that loses me the game. Yes, get rid of the stadium. 220. The poison is critical for this. So I didn't. Now the radiant Pokemon's not critical, but so see what happens here. You know, I need them to take a single prize knockout. That's what needs to happen here for me to have a chance. Do I have another tool in deck or not? I might be out of tools. No, there's one more tool around. Okay. So they need to soften me up. Well, they need to get an Iron Hand set up, right? That's their goal here. And that they're not going to. We'll see what happens here. So I can just think here. I switch cart. So I could heal off. I can get down to 280. I'm not so. I'll have to see what happens here. So peak. Oh, it does 120. Oh, that's right. With the other stuff, it does 120. So I really kind of need my. I need my tool. I do it 120. Actually, they can do with a 160 attack and knock me out as well, which is not a good feeling. All right, so I will. Let's see what I do here. So I'll Sada's Vitality. Let's get an energy on there. Draw some cards I'd like. My tool, which I didn't get. I'm probably going to lose this game. I have a Counter Catcher. I don't need another Counter Catcher. Let me see what I get here. I mean, I'm just going to lose the game here, I imagine. So I will. You know, they're just going to win the game here. So I'll send you up. I can't get access to the last tool. No, I don't. I do not poison. Do not poison, because that probably loses me the game as well. They probably just have the knockout here. I'm pretty certain. Right, because they have 160, 70, 80, 90, 100. They might not, though. They might not. I mean, if they have a gusting card, they just win the game. That's a given. So that all they need is any gusting card. I don't know if they used an ace spec or not. So the future, 160, 70, 80. I think there's right now, what do they have? Oh, they have all four. So they're doing, yeah, so they do it. So they got, yeah, I mean, they got all four in play. That's where the deck is rough, right? And this is where, if my deck played boss, it would help in that game, right? The Ampy very much, that future box, very dangerous. Future box working around Iron Hands, very dangerous, right? The fact that they can get to pretty big numbers now, the Iron Hands has become very dangerous. So anyway, so the deck worked some, didn't work some. You can kind of see it's which is kind of how the deck it look. I think these changes I made are an improvement. There's still a number of decks that are better, so it's certainly not the top choice. But you know, play the starter deck. This is an upgrade that's very budget friendly. I'd say give it a try. Let me know what you think about it. There are some options that I went over in the overview. But, you know, don't go crazy playing the deck if you're really not enjoying it. I will say that, you know, because it is a game and we want to have fun. So go have some fun playing some Pokemon and take care.